Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. We are here in the beautiful, magnificent art gallery, baby. Symptoms of higher consciousness. 10 powerful symptoms of a spiritual awakening. Let's just... woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Deep divers of planet Earth. We got a whole lot to talk about. Now, I get thousands of messages from people all over the world who are going through a spiritual awakening. We ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? Now, have you ever gone through a spiritual awakening? Do you know what it feels like? Okay, we're going to talk about the symptoms. Let's actually talk about 12. Okay? 12 symptoms of a spiritual awakening. Let me share with you what's helped me along my journey. Right now, as I see it, there is a massive shift happening on planet Earth. More people than ever are on a quest for the truth. They want to find out more about themselves. For the first time, they're actually going like this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe the world is like this. And the cat down the road is saying, you better believe it. The first powerful symptom of a spiritual awakening that I've seen along my journey is what I call this. Eyes wide open. That's right. You have increased and intensified perception. It's like for the first time you are seeing the world in a new way. Now, I connect with a lot of indigos, a lot of people who have gone through their spiritual awakening, and they always tell me, Ralph, do you know what? What? It's like my perception has changed entirely. It's not that the world has changed. No, Ralph. It's just that I have changed. Slow motion this side. Many people who are going through a spiritual awakening, who have gone through a spiritual awakening, they start to notice the small print. For the first time, they start to see the details of their existence. And it happened to me along my journey. My perception changed because I'm like, okay, planet Earth, what is it? How did we get here? Okay, my eyes were wide open. I wasn't just believing everything I was seeing on the TV, reading in the newspapers. I was questioning more than ever. And that's what happens. That is a symptom of a spiritual awakening. What is the second amazing symptom of a spiritual awakening? Hypersensitivity. Now, what happened to me when I was like 15, I was going through a spiritual awakening. I was starting to scratch my head like and think, oh my gosh, everything I've been taught is pretty much, well, a lie. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I had this hypersensitivity. And a lot of people who are going through their spiritual awakening, right, have hypersensitivity. They have increased and intensified presentness, meaning that they can feel energy. Ever been around someone and just be able to pick up their energy? That is a symptom of a spiritual awakening because you are now becoming more sensitive to the energetic field around you. That's what happens when you are going through a spiritual awakening. What is the third symptom of a spiritual awakening? How many of you got of these so far, right? Transcendence of separation. For the first time, you are now feeling like this connection to everything. That's what happened to me. Because for a long time, I was separate from everything around me. But when I was going through my spiritual awakening, it was like I felt this amazing oneness between the cat down the road and I. Right? Separation begins to dissolve when you are going through a spiritual awakening. What is the fourth symptom of a spiritual awakening? Baby, talk to me, Ralph. Now, 7-day vegan challenge, you are becoming more aware and paying more attention to the foods you are eating. Now, right now, there are so many people who are eating a plant-based diet. They're stuffing a whole load of cherries in their mouths, blueberries, nectarines, and peaches, okay? But before that point, it was more like donuts, processed meats, and things like that. Drinking soda, okay? When you are going through a spiritual awakening, many times it starts with the food. I can't tell you the amount of people I've met who are like, Ralph, I went through my spiritual awakening when I stuffed these grapes into my mouth and they're full of anthocyanins and vitamin C and antioxidants. It starts with the food. When you are eating better, oh gosh, your third eye is gonna open. Your pineal gland is gonna become decalcified. Okay, so that's a huge sign. If you are eating better, if you are even more aware of food in general, okay, that's a symptom of your spiritual awakening. What is the fifth symptom of a spiritual awakening that I've seen along my journey? Now, it starts like this. You have more compassion and empathy for all life forms. Like, you're actually concerned about animals and their welfare for the first time in your life. Now, before my spiritual awakening, I just saw a cow as a cow and a pig as a pig. Now I actually see them as sentient life beings. Slow motion this side. So you are full of compassion. You have a lot of empathy for even other human beings. You can kind of put yourself in their shoes. Okay, that is a huge symptom of a spiritual awakening. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself, baby. What is the sixth symptom of a spiritual awakening? Your spiritual awakening. Most probably, you feel something has changed inside of you. Okay, I meet a lot of people who are like, Ralph, it's like this switch went off and I feel totally different, Ralph. It's like I got a new mind, I got a new body, and we ain't even had breakfast yet. It happened to me. I felt something change within me. Now, many people are awakening to the matrix and are finding their true authenticity. And what happens is that once you are awake, you can't go back to sleep because something inside of you has changed. So have you felt anything change inside of you? Have you? Have you? Oh my gosh, what happened? What is the seventh symptom of a spiritual awakening that I've seen along my journey? You feel bliss. For the first time, like after my spiritual awakening, when I started to wake up to the truth of who I was, a multi-dimensional being having a human experience, I felt this incredible euphoria, this sublime bliss. Because for the first time, it was like I had an ego death. And I was just like, okay, that felt good. I felt like I was in nirvana, and I still do, like pretty much every single day, because I realize like a greater truth now. And a lot of people who are going through their spiritual awakening, it's kind of hard at first, but afterwards you feel this like amazing bliss. Have you ever felt like that? What is the eighth symptom of a spiritual awakening that I've seen along my journey? This is the ability just to be. Like, can we just be? Like, if you have that ability to just be, because a lot of us, we are human doings, we are not human beings. Like, what happened to me, I was able just to sit under a willow tree for hours and hours and hours and hours. Okay, if you can just be, sometimes not do a whole lot, just sit down with yourself. Have a little conversation with yourself. Have a little talk with yourself, right? That is a true symptom of a spiritual awakening, because so many people on the planet are in a hurry to get nowhere fast. They're in crummy jobs which they don't like, but this system is crumbling as we speak. And a lot of people who are going through their spiritual awakening, they have this ability just to surrender, just to be. They don't have to actually become their greatest versions. They realize they already are in that process every single day. Okay, now, what's helped me? The ninth symptom of a spiritual awakening that I've seen along my journey is that many times what happens? You have a very, very, very low tolerance for what? Superficiality and shallowness, okay? What happened to me along my spiritual journey when I was having this massive spiritual awakening, it's like I couldn't stand shallow conversations. If you can't stand shallow conversations, you really are like all about diving deeper, okay? That is a symptom of your spiritual awakening. Many times, the reason why it's very hard to stand superficial people when you are going through that spiritual awakening is because for the first time, you are seeing the truth. You're realizing how so many of us on the planet have been programmed to accept a standardized version of reality. And you are like all about creating your own reality. Therefore, you don't have time for like superficial conversations, right? So sometimes it's pretty trippy because all of your friends, like, you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Am I going to have any friends after a spiritual awakening? But then you end up meeting the cat down the road. You'll be just fine. So ask yourself, am I like having a very low tolerance for like superficial conversations and shallow talk, right? That's a symptom of your spiritual awakening. Okay, now what I've seen along my journey is that I had a hunger for the truth, a hunger for the right information that was going to expand my mind. I remember I went to the bookshop, I came out looking like that, holding so many books in my hand because I was just hungry to know the true history of planet Earth. Like, where did we come from? How did this all come into existence? What am I doing here? What are you doing here? Right? That's a symptom of your spiritual awakening. If you are on a quest for the truth, if you aren't just accepting what they are force feeding you, if you are asking questions, what happened, why, when, where, right? Lots of W's, right? That is a symptom of your spiritual awakening. You are questioning more than ever, and therefore you are moving closer towards the truth. You're not just blindly following the masses. You're actually creating your own unique path. Okay, what is the 10th symptom of a spiritual awakening? Now, what's helped me along my journey is this. When I realized that it can be kind of sad, right? When you look at the state of the world, you might start to cry because for the first time, you're actually seeing and having this empathy for other human beings. Therefore, many people who are going through their spiritual awakening have like a deep sense of like sadness when they see other people suffering in the world, because once again, you feel this oneness. Okay. So has that ever happened to you? You feel this like deep sadness for the suffering of other people, right? That is a huge sign of and a huge symptom of a spiritual awakening, because most people don't care. But if you do, that's a good thing, because it actually means you got some heart in you, right? What is the 11th symptom of a spiritual awakening? Baby. Now, what I've seen along my journey is this. You have a need to help people. You just want to help people. You want to spread awareness. You want to help people wake up. And what I've seen along my journey, my early journey, when I was like awakening to the deep sleep, what I called human amnesia, you see, I was like, okay, I need to spread this information more than ever. And I was doing that. But then I realized that the truth can't be told. It has to be realized. Slow motion this side. So if you are awakening, if you are going through a spiritual awakening, realize that people will get the information when they are ready. That's what I've realized. You can't really convince people. You can't really tell people to believe in this. You just got to live your truth, and other people will get it. They will see you as a lighthouse, as a beacon of light, and then they'll like follow you if they need to. If not, then who cares, right? And what is the 12th symptom of your spiritual awakening? Most probably, you always right now are like, okay, I'm not going to settle. You're like a rebel to society, because for so long we've all been just like sheep following blindly the shepherd, not realizing where we are going, right? So I meet a lot of people who are going through their spiritual awakening and they got a little bit of rebel blood in them, right? They're like, I'm going to be free. Like, I'm going to live life on my own terms, however I want, and I'm going to do whatever I want every single day, because for so long I've sold myself short. And that's what happened to me for a long time. My way of being a rebel was just saying, hey, look, we live in a flash of light. Even if you were to live 1,000 years, that's nothing more than a drop in the ocean. So I realized there's more to life. It's about connecting with good people, being free always, having meaning, bringing meaning into my life. Many people who are going through their spiritual awakening are all about finding meaning, deeper meaning, right? Because there is so much going on that we have not been told. If you are on a spiritual awakening journey, I'm here to tell you, you are not alone. Alas, the cat down the road is with you. So there you have it, the 12 powerful symptoms of a spiritual awakening. And then you'll just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? Deep divers of planet Earth, have a beautiful day. We are here in the art gallery, just woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Have a beautiful day. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. You stay free. Free your mind, free your soul, free your body, and then do a little samba.